Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
You're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
I'm Brooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane. And shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to BKS1 Radio, the Our Show. It is your girl, Chanel, and I am sitting here, of course, with the wonderful Miss Queen B. You guys got a chance, a small snippet. I can't even say snippet today. A small snippet to rock out to DJ Sassy, who's in the building with us. We actually miss Sassy. Sassy, when's the last time that you were here? Because we need to know. Okay, I'm listening. Countdown. Okay. Go ahead.
Last month.
Yeah, but it's been a whole month.
It has been.
We have gone from summer to winter, and we are just seeing you again. No, we did. We congratulated you on your nuptials last
end
month.
of September, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, but it has been like an entire month.
Almost.
So we missed you.
Thank you. I missed you guys as well.
But how's school?
School is school.
Yeah?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Rowdy teenagers.
Okay, well, so Sassy, for everybody who doesn't know, is an administrator in Newark at Barringer.
I am.
And
Big Blue.
So, the school season has started. You are in the mix. Yes. It is October. Ooh. Kids is already acting up, getting suspended. It's that time. Yeah. Okay.
Already.
All right.
Boo loving in the hallway, cutting class,
man.
Eating multiple lunch periods. Like, didn't you just eat?
I did that.
That wasn't me.
I did that.
Let me see your
I seen the best
I lost
meme.
it.
I went to A, B, and C lunch
on Facebook, and it was like, I hate teenagers. They always need a ride. I hate their attitudes, and then it was like they stink a little bit too.
Yeah, they do.
So,
but I was one of them teenagers. I did go to A, B, and C lunch.
I did not. Yo, I was the nerdiest nerd in the world. Like, I feel so bad. Like, I know I didn't.
You missed it.
Why didn't I cut class?
I don't know. You should have.
Well. Trust me.
I went out to lunch with y'all, but I didn't cut class.
They cutting for you and everybody else in this room today. They cutaholics.
Listen, but you know what? A lunch was kind of whack. So I really didn't go to A lunch often.
Well, that was too early. It was like 11.
Too early. It was like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. But by the time you got, I had B lunch. Mm-hmm. And then for C lunch, I had gym, which is right across from the cafeteria. So I used to get dressed. And because Coach Jones was my teacher, I didn't have to play because my last name was Jones and his last name was Jones. You understand what I'm saying?
He didn't make me play either.
And so since I didn't have to play and still got an A, right? Then I used to get dressed, and then I used to go to.
Who is Coach Jones?
Coach Jones is from Newark, right?
Yeah,
I know you're not talking about my Beef Jones.
Yeah, Beef Jones.
Oh, we gonna have to have a conversation.
So Beef, but see, Beef didn't make me.
Excuse me while I get him on the line.
You know,
he knows us like well.
No, very well.
Very well.
But see, I didn't have to play, and I still got an A. So I would go to C lunch. You understand what I'm saying? But I would get dressed. And then go to, I was going to gym, but then I would just go and see lunch. So that was good. So I was cutting class.
Well, listen, first of all, I did not cut
but
class.
Ethan, don't do that. Don't listen to your mother. Because your senior year, don't mess up.
I will beat Serenity.
All right. Okay,
but listen, this the thing. I did not cut. His senior year, I left early. I got to leave at we had block classes. So the only thing I had to take was English and gym.
Yeah.
So I left.
You had half a day?
No, I didn't even have half a day. I left at 9 something.
No, you couldn't.
Yes, I did. I had one class. Remember, we had block class, and our classes lasted for 90 minutes.
Right.
So you did leave early.
Yeah, I left early.
What time school started?
I worked at White Castle.
8.
So you was only in school for an hour?
I literally was in school for an hour and a half. I had done all my classes in 11th grade.
You were smart.
I tried.
I wasn't. I mean, I was medium. Like I was medium smart.
You didn't apply yourself.
No, I was medium. No, I wasn't good at math. But everything else, I was.
What kind of math did you have again?
Like for daily living, they was like,
girl.
they was like, girl,
I was like,
consumer math.
listen,
yeah, like
yes.
it
was like
I had calculus
have,
in 11th grade.
Listen,
I had trigonometry in 10th grade.
Listen,
this daily living they had, I don't even know what that was.
11th
she wasn't
grade,
in none of my classes.
11th
Mr.
grade,
Jones made it up.
Listen, in 11th grade,
she wasn't
was like,
in none of my classes.
If you have 2 oranges. And they 35 cents a piece, and you add 7% sales tax. How much did you
with your
pay?
coupon?
I was like, oh, ace that. You know what I mean?
Was it really a sale or not?
Sassy, when then she had to do the math that was like 3x plus. She was like, nah.
Because once they turn into letters, it's a wrap.
Right.
Right?
Letters and numbers don't go together.
I know that.
I don't
life.
even understand that.
3x plus 3y. She was like, nah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you use it now? No.
Yeah.
No, on
Yeah.
what? When you get gas?
That's for science.
Or did you use math for daily living? Now, do you buy the oranges now? You see what I'm saying? I had math for daily living.
Let me find out. Queen be in the store stuck like.
Let me stand
is this a sale or
let me stand
am
up
I
for
really
all the
paying
nerds
more
that
money?
Was with me.
Yeah,
Shout out to my best friend Mia, who was in AP everything
she
with
had
me.
AP everything.
Yeah, me and Mia had AP everything.
I did not. But
I didn't see them.
But guess who could buy?
I didn't even see them in the hallways.
Guess who could buy oranges now? Don't ask me nothing when you need oranges.
That's who you call. That's what she called.
You and Mia, and you know Mia need me for oranges.
Right.
You know she did.
Right.
She had trigonometry, but can she buy an orange?
You right.
Okay, then.
You right,
That's what I'm
sis.
talking
So this
about.
all worked out.
It all worked out.
But I'm glad that I have friends like them.
Listen,
I'm telling y'all don't understand. I didn't even see him in the hallways. I didn't see him in the hallways.
Because our classes were on different ends of the school.
Our class was on totally different ends of the school.
I wasn't slow. I said I was medium.
She was in the old building.
I was not in the old building. I said I was medium.
Y'all,
I had medium classes.
She was in the old building.
And then I had band.
She's lying, y'all. She's lying. First of all, I was a drummer. She was. You know what she's saying?
I did have band.
You know what she's saying?
Wait.
You know the reason why she's saying that?
No.
Because
No.
let me tell you.
You never went to band?
I did. I went to band every day.
I'm about to tell you. She did not play nothing.
I played the jazz flute.
Who was your band teacher, Mr. Jones?
Mr. Collins.
Mr. Collins. But let me tell y'all.
May he rest in peace.
No, let me tell y'all. First of all,
I played the jazz flute.
Y'all, she did not play the jazz flute.
I played the jazz.
She put the flute up. My friend Sherilyn, shout out to her. She played for her.
I played the
and
jazz
that's how
flute.
she passed band.
I got an A.
Because Sherilyn will play behind her.
I got an A.
What you say? Who report card is that grade on?
Listen, you know what I really used to do though? I used to order pizza. So Mr. Collins would be like, LaToya, just going over there and you order a couple pies for the class and you're gonna be good. And I'm like, all right. And then midway the year, I lost the flute. You understand what I'm saying? And he let me order pizza. Huh?
Did you have to pay for it?
Yeah, I ain't to pay for no flute. My mother worked for the system, so they all knew me. So they let me do whatever I wanted to do.
Look at that.
So the fact of the matter is that
I'm saying
you could have utilized. Your mother was in the school.
Her first instrument was not the flute. It was nothing.
I played the jazz flute.
I played the flute first, and I played the drums.
No, I'm gonna bring the flute one day.
I played the drums my whole entire year, and she know because they used to make fun of me.
No, I'm gonna bring a flute.
They used to make fun of me, but I was a good drummer.
I'm gonna bring a flute to the show, and I'm gonna show everyone.
You know what I did?
Sound like it was some HIB going on back then.
I cut class to drum. Me and Marquise, shout out to Marquise, we used to play church songs.
You know what?
Marquise,
you cut class to play church songs?
Yeah, you play on the piano and I play the drums. And we used to vibe with Miss Minity.
I cut class to go to Wendy's and you was playing church songs?
I ain't want to do Wendy's.
Miss Minity let y'all cut?
Yeah. To her? Yes.
To her, yeah. Call her too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Minity.
And shout out to Miss White James who gave me her whole stack of passes. I'm telling now. Her whole stack of passes signed.
Right.
And I used to just pull it out my book bag, write myself out, and be like, hey, Miss White James.
And Mr. Barfield. May he rest in peace. I used to come in the office every day and he'd be like, Sister Jones, what's the matter? I'd be like, I just don't want to. go to that class.
Yes.
And he'd be like, I sit right here, Sister Jones. I'm like,
Because I will
"All right,
have you
all right
know,
then."
I was number 10 out of my class.
I wasn't.
She was on no trips
I
with
wasn't.
me, y'all. I'm
I
just
was-
telling you.
I was
but
number-
I love him.
I was at like in the 40s. But we had a class of 300.
You right.
So if you in the 40s,
you just wasn't in the top
and the
10.
class of 300.
That's all I'm gonna say.
What was that? What was that? Because Math of Daily Living.
Come on,
you ain't
bro.
do that.
She in Math of Daily Living, but she can't even tell you 40
Consumer math.
What was? If I was 44, what percentage was that?
Consumer math.
Yeah, but what was? If I was number 44 out of 300,
I was
what
number 10.
percentage is that?
That's all
the
I'm
top
saying.
What?
Shout out to Mia
That-
who
that's-
beat Mia, my best
Top
friend
what?
Mia. She beat me, the one that was in the classes with me. She was number 8.
Oh.
She was number 8.
Oh, the
I was number
shade
10. We
on
were
the
fighting.
show.
We were fighting.
But
we were fighting.
But can y'all buy oranges today?
Yeah, but
no,
I don't.
You can't.
I don't.
They can't buy oranges.
I
Today.
don't. And let me tell you something. If I do buy oranges, I will call you.
Listen,
Okay.
shout out to Jason Edwards from Beards and Baldhead, who said, "Do not tell on his Aunt Jean that she gave you all the passes. Do not tell on his aunt that she gave you all the passes."
She gave me all the passes. I can tell now. I'm 40.
Aunt Jean is
She
terrible.
gave me all the passes. She signed them. Miss Jean,
Oh,
White
my
James.
word.
Okay,
That
she
is
signed them in red.
so
I had a
illegal.
whole, and then when I ran out, I was like, "Look,
She
I need another
replenished
set.
them.
I need another."
Oh,
she helped out the nurse. She
my.
loved me. She
Well,
loved
you said
me.
nurse, and shout out to Miss Robinson because I
Yes.
spent a lot of time in her office too. May
I'ma
she
be
rest in
honest, I
peace.
did too.
So, okay, back
A lot
up.
of time in her
Back
office
up.
too.
Where did you spend a lot
What?
of time?
I
So
graduated.
you had
What?
multiple lunches.
Yeah. The nurse's office.
You didn't take gym.
I ordered pizza for band.
In band class, you were in charge of
Where's your
ordering
education, y'all?
pizzas.
But I was 33.
And you had
I was
consumer
44.
math.
Where's your
Like
education?
I'm trying to figure out this schedule.
Me
here.
too.
Who is your guidance counselor?
Nobody.
May he rest in peace, Mr. Barfield. I used to sit in his office too.
Nobody.
What? I don't see what the problem
Let's
is.
shout
He
out
was
the,
not-
let's shout out
he
the high
wasn't
school.
guiding
What high
nothing.
school is this?
I don't see what the problem is.
What high school is this?
This was Plainfield High School. Shout out to my alma mater.
PHS.
I
That
don't under-
education.
I don't understand what the. I did well.
Disgraceful.
Listen, if I was,
we went to Rutgers.
if
so
I was,
you
we
got
did,
there.
then we went to Rutgers,
You got
so we was
there.
good. But my point is that if I was bad, my mother worked across the street.
So who?
So they
did
would have walked right to the elementary
application
school.
for Rutgers. I'm
I
scared
did.
to ask.
I did. I got into Rutgers fair
got
and
in there?
square.
She got in there.
We all went.
You got in there.
We all are
We all-
Rutgers alone.
How many of us?
One,
Three,
four.
Four
of us.
4 out of 7 went to Rutgers.
Even with that math class. I got right on in there.
I don't even
sis.
know how.
I got right on in there.
I don't know
You
how.
had econ your
with the
first
Lord.
year.
With the Lord. Huh?
Yeah, econ your first year.
I don't even know what math. First year. All I'm saying is shout out to Plainfield High because I loved it, you know. And speaking of Plainfield, and that's what we're talking about
I
today.
love all the gyms and the lunches too.
What?
Like,
Don't be jealous now. Stop it.
I am.
It
I
doesn't
am.
look good on you, sis. Don't be jealous
right.
now.
It's not fair that she didn't get the experience.
I don't know what was wrong with me. Like my mom, and I'm shout out to her who's probably watching, but my mom told me to come home after prom. My dad, Muslim man, told me to come home after prom, and I'm just trying to figure out he didn't even live with us. To this day, I beat myself up and say, Basima, why did you listen? Why did you come home right after prom?
I didn't do that either.
Oh, I know.
Because you are very, very disciplined.
I know.
Look, I didn't do that either.
We got Ed.
Well, look, shout out to my son. Shout out to him. Shout out to him.
I know.
Yeah, shout out to my
Surprise,
son.
surprise.
Yeah, whoa.
Dad, I get it now. I get it. You know, I almost questioned
I
it
didn't come home
for
after
a second,
prom
but
either.
I get it now.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to figure out
Shout out to
why.
him.
I was like the most like everything. But if my parents said this, I did this.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Oh God.
I didn't do that. And my mother was right across the
Basima,
street.
why didn't you live a little?
You should
Just
have.
a little.
You should have. Could have came with
You
us.
right? You right?
Could have came with us. We had a lot of fun. So.
Oh, just a nerd.
Well, anyway, speaking of Plainfield, and I'm trying to use that as a segue because even though we're joking and we're laughing, and again, my mother was an educator in Plainfield for 40 years, so there wasn't too much I could get away with. Most of that shenanigans was my senior year where it really didn't matter anyway, but because I was already done. But the fact of the matter is Plainfield actually has had a lot of jewels and a lot of gems and a lot of valuable and talented and artistic people who have come out of the city of Plainfield.
I just got one question.
Go ahead.
Who's the best
What's that?
class? 97.
Do they offer like consumer math 1 and then consumer math 2?
I was about to say.
And consumer math 3 and consumer math 4.
At Rutgers?
97 was the best class.
No.
At Plainfield, like, is it?
Chanel.
No.
Was 97 not the best class at Grace?
Oh, yeah, of course. So, but no, they did not have consumer math in levels. I don't know if there were levels.
I wish y'all could see
but
her.
I just had it that one year because I had already failed algebra 2.
Oh.
Something like that. 3, 4, I don't know. Does it matter? We're not counting. So the fact of the matter is that's why I had it. But again, we're talking about artists and we're talking about filmmakers today, and we're talking about all of the talent that has come out of Plainfield, no matter what math class you had in Plainfield. And just for everybody, if you're struggling at Plainfield High right
Jason
now,
said, but is your
just
credit
know
score 800 though?
that's what I'm talking about. Exactly.
Is your credit score?
Right. Credit score
800?
good. Yeah. It's not quite 8. But the fact of the matter is,
It's not the point, Jason.
that's not the point. The point is the talent that comes out of the city of Plainfield.
No. I always
And
say
there
that.
is immense talent right here in this town. And that is what we're going to be discussing today.
Let's talk about it.
We're going to talk about that today. First and foremost, this studio here, for all who don't know and for all who watch all over the country, because we have viewers who watch from all over, and we thank you guys and we love you guys for watching and we love you guys for listening. However, like I said, we are all here in the city of Plainfield.
Right.
This studio is the mastermind and the brainchild, Plainfield High School students, of Trish and Norm, who are actually from the city of Plainfield and actually went to Plainfield High School. And so their talent and their ideas is what allows us to be here today, as well as many others who are right here on the station. We are just one show amongst a family of multiple shows daily right here at this station. Right. So shout out to Trish and shout out to Norman. But in the studio with us today, we have in the studio with us today, we have a number of other individuals who we've asked to be here because we have some great things that are going to be going on in the city of Plainfield this weekend. Yes. So I'm just going to take it back a little bit. So, and I've told everyone this story numerous times about how I worked in the pharmaceutical industry, had a full career in pharmaceuticals, had been there for pretty much a decade, and I decided to step away from pharma. Wasn't feeding my spirit, didn't like it, hated it, cried going to work every day. I had worked for numerous pharmaceutical companies, and I wanted to transition into entertainment because entertainment has always been my first love since a child. Yes. I've always been in dance class or acting, singing, can't really do that, played the piano. I was all right with that. And it has always been my first love, and I was always doing something, and I wanted to transition to make it my bread and butter, my 9 to 5, and you know what I needed to do to live. I spoke with a number of different individuals about transitioning into entertainment at the time. One of which, Marcus Taylor, everybody knows him as Suge Knight from the Straight Outta Compton movies, who is also a Plainfield native. I spoke to him. I also spoke to another friend of mine, a CB, right here from the city of Plainfield, who is accomplished producer and actor and director, who still gets me different gigs from BKS1 Radio on Fashion Week and all kinds of stuff. Another friend of mine, Tamika Stembridge, who became an entertainment lawyer and was Chris Lighty's protege from right here in Plainfield. Another friend of mine, Teron Tidwell, who is the financier of the Stars, does a lot of big things, a lot of great work right here from the city of Plainfield. And the last gentleman, who is in the studio right now, I just so happened to walk up on his grand porch one day and told him that I wanted to transition in entertainment. I didn't know how. I have mouths to feed. What do I do? Where do I go? How do I get from pharma money into entertainment? How do I get a foot in the door? And began working with this gentleman that pretty much that same month who said, well, I'm about to make a couple of films. I can sign you on to the team. Let's go. And I have been working with this gentleman ever since. And we have our second annual film festival that is coming up this weekend, Queen City. All right, okay. Second annual film festival that is coming up this weekend. It is the Queen City Film Festival that was started by none other than one of my guests today because I have 3 other talented individuals who's
From
in the
the city
studio
of
with me
Plainfield.
from the city of Plainfield. But please, everybody, help me welcome Mr. Lamar Maxon from Nonstop Show Group from Queen City Film Festival.
It's weird to clap for myself.
Right here
the way
in the
she announces me. Jeez.
Yes, right here in the building with us today. So, Lamar Maxon,
What's up?
How
What's
are
up,
you?
Toya?
How are you?
B.
Hey,
Good to see
Sassy,
everybody.
yes.
What's up, Sass?
Hi.
Yeah.
Seen you in a minute. I think it was over the summer.
Yeah, definitely over the summer. How are you, sir?
I'm great.
All right,
Great.
it's crunch time.
It's crunch time.
It's
3
crunch
days to go.
time.
3
Yes.
days to go.
Yes.
We're in it.
Okay.
I mean, 6-7 months ago, it was just a dream. You know, now it's so real. It's manifest right in the room in front of us right now.
Right.
Queen City Film Festival has gone from this small showcase to this world event, like literally a world event. There's films from all over the world.
Yeah.
A couple from Europe, one from Africa, and one from Asia.
Yes.
Strictly Japan.
Yes.
We've got filmmakers surfacing right here in Plainfield and all over New Jersey.
Yes.
Just to be a part of this event. And, you know, it wouldn't be for you, members of the team like Allison McWilliams.
Shout out to Allie.
Kenny C. Williams, who's
Shout
here
out to Kenny.
in the studio right now.
Yes.
Patrick Coker and others who
out to
really contributed to where we are today. And 52 films over the course of 48 hours is no small feat. We weren't even expecting that
No.
at all when
No.
we first started the conversation. We didn't even think we would receive this kind of attention from so many filmmakers. But there's something special about what we do here, what the Queen City Film Festival represents, and particularly you already opened it up with what Plainfield is, and even on the show last night, Beards and Ballhead
Shout out to
show.
Jason. He's watching.
Shout out to Jason. We talked about how Plainfield is all over the world, you know, and I was in San Diego with some of my kinfolk out there, and they were talking about Plainfield, New Jersey. They love Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, and they give props to our very own George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic way out there. And they were asking me questions about Plainfield when I was out there. Like, yo, so the barbershop's still there? You know, George Clinton, you ever see him? Like, you know, crazy questions like that. But the truth of the matter is that Plainfield is a very unique place. It's small, but it's very unique. And the film festival has developed some people and brought some people and created some avenues for some people to come out and present their art to the world. And I think that's one of the most important things about the festival. And the fact that it's produced by actual filmmakers. We're really filmmakers. We really make movies, you know, and we've gone through it ourselves. We've submitted dozens and dozens and dozens of films over years,
and going to many film festivals.
We've traveled
and
all
traveled
over the
everywhere.
world.
Yeah.
Can you tell us like some of the movies and sets you guys, because you did it last night?
Okay, so
that you guys worked on.
The original films that we worked on, I personally have worked over 20 years in film and television, and we were talking in the lobby earlier about the difference between the corporate positioning and somebody who comes up in the business through the corporate end of it, you know, working small bottom layer jobs just to get, you know, ahead in the business, but the business is so convoluted and crowded and crazy that a lot of filmmakers that come through that that avenue end up breaking away and trying to do something different. And then there's other filmmakers that just come through it organically. They express themselves, and it comes through a visual medium, whether it be photography or video, and they end up expressing themselves through film that way. So the Queen City Film Festival has created that opportunity for people. And so myself personally, I've had the opportunity to in my career, have all of those different influences. And work on different productions like Impractical Jokers, which everybody at this point knows it's in its 10th season. But when it started out, it was a real guerrilla show. It was done in a gritty way, and we didn't have a lot of money to make it happen, but we made that show happen. And there would be days I'd be on the road forever and ever, and we ended up bringing that show here to Plainfield.
Right.
And that goes to show you that just your influence, just working and being in the spot, can make things happen. But still, ownership is something different.
Yes,
so
it is.
even though I worked on all of these shows, like Kitchen Nightmares, and when Gordon Ramsay came and found the rat on the floor.
Yes, I
right
remember
there.
that.
And we could talk about it 10 years later and say, that maybe happened, maybe it didn't happen. Maybe it was some reality hocus pocus going on. And LaQuinn can tell you right now, because she's done reality and worked on reality shows, some of that stuff is make-believe. A lot of it is make-believe.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But if you have the frame of mind and the intention to know that all of the business, there's some degree of make-believe, and that all of this stuff is done with teams in mind, then you can be successful at it.
Right.
If you put your mind to it and find the right like-minded community of people who support that, and you get together and you make stuff happen.
Right.
So again, Queen City Film Festival, that's what it's all about.
And I'm gonna come back to ownership, and I'm gonna come back to African American ownership in film in a minute. But I want to. You mentioned all over the world. So sitting next to you, we have Miss Kendra Marie from Plainfield. Let's clap her up. So let me just tell everybody a story really quick from Kendra Marie, right? So
whom we've known
forever, which everybody knows I call Kendra my cousin, right? Because we grew up together. So one day, I decided to have a party at my house, right? I had already brought the oranges, you know what I mean? And so I was having a party at my house. Now, I worked in pharmaceuticals and corporate world. Kendra, by trade, is actually an engineer. And she worked for an engineering firm around the corner. And so we worked around the corner from each other in North Jersey. So I decided to have a party, and I wanted to move like a china cabinet or something, I don't know, out of my dining room. And so I called down the street, because we grew up down the street from each other. And I was like, Kendra, I'm about to have this party. Come down and help me move my china cabinet. And she was like, yeah, I'm at an airport in Texas. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I'm at an airport in Texas. And I was like, oh, well, when are you coming back? And she was like, yeah, I don't think I am. I was like, wait. And I was like, what? You what? She was like, yeah, I don't think I'm coming back. And I was like, well, what about your job? Like, you're an engineer. What do you mean you're not coming back? And she was like, yeah, no. What I think she said, yeah, I think my grandmother's sick or something. And I'm leaving. And I was like, well, Kendra, where are you going? And she was like, LA. And I was like, for what? She was like, to act. And I was like, you're leaving your engineering job to move to LA to be an actress? And she was like, yeah, so listen, I'm gonna call you back. Like I'm at this
I ain't really got time for you
right now. I'm at
the airport
now,
trying to check in.
And no, I can't help you move the china cabinet. And so
you gotta call somebody else.
Right, and I'm gonna talk to you. I holler.
Right,
and I was like, oh. And I tell everyone that story because having the guts and having the courage to be able to follow your dreams and follow your goals, especially in the area of entertainment, which, you know, everybody always has something to say. And, you know, we all here because we all do this. You know what I mean? But everybody always has something to say about that particular avenue of life. So to be able to walk away from engineering as a Black woman, to walk away from engineering,
which is guaranteed money.
Right.
Because that's what we all think about.
Right. Again, I walked away from pharmaceuticals.
I'm still at pharma.
You know, guaranteed money. And for her to walk away from engineering and has moved to LA, and she has not come back.
I don't see it like that. I see it like I'm blessed. I'm talented. This is what I do.
Right.
I'm going to leave you alone for a minute. I got some other things I want to accomplish.
Right.
And when I'm done with that, if I feel like it, I'll become an engineer.
Right. But everybody doesn't have the
is gonna
courage
always
to
be
do
there.
that.
But
Right.
she did.
Yeah.
So, grab that microphone, sis.
Honest, I wasn't that brave at all.
Okay.
I wasn't that brave. I used to feel like when I would go to work, because Toya worked around the corner from me, we would go to lunch and talk about how we ain't like our job.
Hated it.
And I wanted to slit my wrist every day. I wanted to just be there and die and just bleed out my wrist. But I just got fed up. I got fed up with a job I didn't like. I didn't like where I was living. I didn't like who I was dating. I didn't like this. I ain't like that. I ain't like this. And I was just like, you know what? I gotta do something.
Change.
I just gotta do something different.
Right.
I don't look at that like I was brave, but I was like, if I die tomorrow, I'm gonna be mad. That I didn't try.
Right.
So
that's a blessing.
And how many years ago was that?
Years
ago. that was a number of years ago, and like I said, and she is still in LA. She has not come back. She is a working actress in LA, and it's funny because I'll be watching something on TV and be like, is that
Yeah.
And then I'll send her,
done that too.
Yeah,
Like, is
and then
that
send her a
Kendra?
text message and be like, girl, you ain't tell me you was going to be on, or you are in, or you did, or what. And she'd be like, yeah, it was a little something, or it was a little this, a little that. But it's literally you flip through channels and you're like, wait, oh, is that, what is she doing? Like, I didn't know. So
when I hit the big stuff, I'll tell people.
But either way, we're talking about talent from Plainfield and being in LA.
Yes.
What is that like for you?
Is levels.
Okay.
So like first being there, talent didn't matter. I was just trying to find somewhere to work, somewhere to live. Like the first couple of years, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Then I was able to like start to branch out
Yeah.
and like try to find little things here the same stuff everybody does here. Student films, like anything you can get to get footage, anything that you can do to like just get more experience, exposure, you just do it. I was out networking I would go to places that I shouldn't have been going. Like you could tell this place is not a place where you're going to get quality information from people, but I would still go.
Yeah.
Like just being out and about. And I met so many people just being out and about. So I don't know about here, but in LA, you need to be out and about meeting people, not at the expense of your craft,
Absolutely.
but you still need to be out and about meeting people because there are people that don't focus on the craft, but they focus on meeting people, and they're able to get opportunities because of it. So that's the first couple years, and then there's slow years. Sometimes it's good days, sometimes it's bad days. Some days I'm really happy, some days I'm crying like, why did I do this? I'm just in the tub crying. Like,
but constantly working on your craft. Though.
Yeah.
Constantly working.
Constantly working.
Amazing. Amazing. Like I said, the courage alone is absolutely amazing. And like I said, the talent that comes from here. Because, I mean, she doesn't tell anybody, but she sings too.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
Between singing and between being an actress, it's just a lot of amazing talent. And then we have two additional ladies who are in the studio with us today, who are also filmmakers. So please help me welcome, and then let me make sure I'm saying your names right. LaQuinn Alexandra, right? Alexandra, and Deandra Marie. So everybody, please help me welcome them to the studio as well. So LaQuinn, you're a producer. Yes. Grab the mic, girl.
I am. Yes, I fall into that. I also direct and write as well.
Okay. All right now. Right here from the city of Plainfield.
So, I
about
don't
that.
want to false claim. I've been living in Plainfield for a year. I'm originally from Brooklyn.
That's fine. We adopt you.
Yes. I just want to I don't want to be like, oh, you were born. I'm like,
you here now.
But I'm here. Yes. And I do really love the city. I'm here with my mom, and we really do. Since we moved here, we really have.
No, she got to fix that because everybody in Brooklyn going to be like, that's
not where you came from.
Like, really? Like, really? That's how you doing us?
Exactly. So I was like, I got to hold on now.
What?
Yes. Exactly. I was like,
I won't be going to see her movie.
You're not from Brooklyn no more? Can't get my Brooklyn card taken away.
That's right. Because you're going to need that.
I am.
You're going to need that.
But yeah.
So I want you to tell us a little bit about your work. So like you said, you're a producer, you're a writer, you're a director. So tell us a little bit about A, how you got into that, and B, some of your work.
So I'll keep it short.
Okay.
Because we ain't got all the time. But so I grew up in the entertainment industry. My father was a producer, so I grew up around it. So I always knew I wanted to be in it. In college, I'm Caribbean, so it was kind of like, yeah, I'm studying film, but it's like, you studying film, like you're not trying to be a doctor, or so I kind of grappled with that myself, and so I kind of went off that path and actually was studying aerospace engineering. And then something just motivated me to just apply to grad school, which I did. And it was in grad school where I kind of refound myself and my love for filmmaking. Graduated grad school, went out to LA. I'm back now. I ain't 6 months, got evicted, roommate issues. We're not going to talk about that. It happens, lesson learned.
It's that Hollywood life.
Yes, very depressing 6 months of my life. But came back to New York. And just kind of got reacquainted with like some of my classmates. They introduced me to some producers. Kind of started working as a PA for like a few months, and then I don't know. I guess this one producer liked me, and she was like, "I'm gonna give you this feature film to work on as a coordinator." And then from there, I just was doing a lot in reality. I did some stuff in commercial, music videos, live television, digital stuff, just independent and network. So a lot of that corporate side. I used to work on a Netflix show. That was my last like official corporate job before I was like, I got to get out of here. And so I just been really trying to find my way now. And so now I'm here.
So what's your muse for some of your own stuff?
I'm really big on social issues, social justice. I work for a nonprofit right now. That's what I do in my daytime job. Nice. And I'm actually going back to school to get my public administration degree because I feel like a lot of my filmmaking centers around around social justice. And so I feel like filmmaking comes so natural to me. I have a capacity to do more. So that's why I want to get this degree so I can really work in this space. But social issues, a lot of things that I write about, a lot of things that I think about, all deal with like some type of message or dealing with some aspect of society that I feel like we need to fix.
Where'd you do your PA work?
So I did some in LA, and mostly that was like commercials and music videos. And then when I came to New York, I did like a few short films. Anything crazy, like 1 or 2 short films. And then I met the producer, and they were like, "Oh, you could be a coordinator on this feature film." And then from there it was like feature films, digital, and like TV.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, we're gonna come back to you too. Okay. We're not done with you either.
I just about the project.
The
reason she's here, why she got to this.
Right. That's what I said. We're gonna come back to you too, Miss Marie.
Yes.
Miss Marie, director.
Yes.
Right. Writer.
Yes.
All of it.
All around creative.
Around creative.
So
Tell us about Limitless Visions.
Oh, thank you. So that's like the unofficial name of my production company for when I want to start it. But it's crazy because I'm a spiritual shorty, so I was going to church.
Wait, you're a what?
I call myself a spiritual shorty.
What?
Like
Explain.
I'm a shorty and I'm spiritual. So like I believe in God. I go to church. I read the Bible. Yeah, but I'm a spiritual shorty. You gotta make it sound cool.
Okay. It is cool.
Yeah.
It is cool.
So my pastor was like, you should have like an affirmation for your life. And I wasn't really doing affirmations and stuff. And like those things on Facebook where it's like, if your birthday falls here, that's this word. And if you're a Pisces, that's this word. And literally it said creator of limitless visions. And I was like, that is who I am. I literally just create whatever comes to my head. Yeah. So like Lamar was describing Plainfield about being small and unique, that's me. So being a Plainfield native, like I'm not organic. Like I am organically trained. I'm self-taught in everything that I do as far as creating. So I literally create limitless visions that come to my head.
Wow. Wow. All right. And tell us a little bit about some of your work that you have going on right now.
Well, so I started off doing just setting up a camera, doing web shows on my website. It's DeAndreMarie.com. I've known Lamar since I was a kid. He'll still call me a kid, but
especially since he just had a birthday.
Right, especially now.
No pun intended.
So Yeah, I just started doing stuff for. I started doing stuff for my website, and then I got into doing like recap videos for people, interviews. It's funny because Lamar told me about the Newark International Film Festival last year when he had his films in there, and I was like, well, I could do this. Like, I have a camera. I have like vision. I could do this.
I know. I saw you there.
Yeah, right. You're right. And so I don't know. This year came around, and I was like, I'm gonna do 2 short films, and that's what I did. I put they're 2 short documentaries. One is on lupus, which Strength, Faith, Courage, Conquering Lupus. So that is in the Queen City Film Festival this Friday.
Nice.
And then I did another one in July called Psych Nah, I Am Not My Mental Illness. So that talks. It's myself.
What's the name of it?
Psych Nah, I Am Not My Mental Illness.
I like that.
Oh,
I need
so
you to catch up on the lingo, please.
thank you.
I know, I'm sorry.
Look, she listening over there,
I'm
right?
sorry. Well, this is a principal. She has to.
Right. No.
She has to know
Respect.
all of that.
Respect. Yeah. So that's I share my story, and 3 other people share Black people share their stories on mental health and mental illness in the Black community and how it affects us.
Oh my God.
Really quick, I wanted to ask you about you covered events like the Inked Out in New Jersey and also the LGBT Expo. How was that?
Oh, those are great. And I've covered a variety of events, but those are great. Yeah, definitely Mad Lib twice. So go to Mad Lib.
Oh, wow.
That's every August in South Jersey. But yeah, no, I love covering events because it allows me to take the essence of the event, and literally put it in a form where if you weren't there, you still felt
you were
like
there.
you were there.
Yeah.
That to me, it does take a lot of work, especially if I am in front of the camera
And
too.
creativity too.
Yes. So I'll do a little bit of everything. There's times where I think in every event that I've covered, maybe not those events. I don't think I was shooting yet.
Okay.
But and like you said, Mad Lib, I would be in front of the camera, behind the camera. So it's just about knowing what you want to do and still trying to put it together.
Right. Okay. And I'm glad you talked about being self-taught. I just want to kind of segue that a bit into African American ownership.
Yeah.
And being self-taught, and a lot of things that we learn, and stuff we learn from school, things we learn from being on set. But I wanna segue that into ownership and what that's like to own a predominantly African American production company, and what opportunities
right over here
that can potentially give.
It's a responsibility. I have to work hard. I have to work really hard, hours upon hours, and those hours have to beget results for the many people who are involved in these productions, projects, whether they be small, mid-scale. We do it all. We do big stuff, we do medium stuff, and we do local stuff. Each one of those has a certain degree of quality, and it needs to be executed each and every time. So as a Black business owner, I'm very sensitive about excelling and being ultra competitive. There's a lot of people in my field who think that they're the best, and so we don't try to talk about it. We really try to execute it with a culture of how we relate to one another as partners, as business people, as friends and family. It extends into this overlap of we're mad serious about what we do, and everybody knows that we never really turn off the knob, so that's why we call it Nonstop Show Group.
Right.
And the group is the part that's all collective. It's a bunch of people, it's not just one. So when you get to the point where you're holding each and every person accountable to the same level of excellence, then you have something that you can work with. And I try to instill that in myself, so that I can be an example for my business partners about what greatness is. And I'm always a Black man. Now you can't avoid that. But if I'm excellent at what I do, and I relate to my people in an excellent and concerned way, we're going to have an open playing field. So for me, that's what it means. It's a heavy concept because a lot of the clients out here aren't used to dealing with that level of intellect and you know, I would say personal knowledge about who we are.
Right.
You know, we have real intimate knowledge of ourselves, and we know that what our shortcomings are and what we can do well. So I think that a lot of clients are thrown off at first.
I was gonna ask you. So, what do you think clients' thoughts are when you take on a job and they recognize that your production company is predominantly African American?
I think it's important in that instance to be as thorough as possible, cross all the T's and dot all the I's, and that's with every level of our business. So when people give off the vibe, or they might say something catty in an email, one, I have to not respond to it because my inclination as, you know, a man from African American descent in the United States,
you're automatically hostile
immediately.
Yeah, you're automatically hostile.
But I've learned over time, and my father always said, you know, to control your anger and your emotion and take that out of what you do. So I try to take it out of what I do and approach all of my projects and clients that way. Just even keel and from a logistics standpoint. And that keeps us on even playing field. But when I respond to people who try to test, clients try to test you all the time. They try to push you. They try to go out of the bounds of agreements. And you have to learn how to pay attention to all of those moving parts, apply them to what you're doing. If someone is taking advantage of you, you have to know how to tell them that you're taking advantage of me, but you can't just be like, yo, man. You got to really say it and be clear, crystal clear. It's about communication sometimes. You know?
I just want to say, I gotta tell this story. I kind of like just being with her. I was with you guys, and I was seeing you guys and the way you move and the way you do things, and I was always amazed. And I told you this before, but I was amazed at how you guys handle yourselves, how efficient you are, and I realized that producing and just film in general, I saw a different side when it came to being with Nonstop. Like, you guys are professional, which you don't see a lot of. You guys are just, I was amazed at how the way you run things and the way you are. Do you think that people see you as that, or do you think that people
absolutely
would assume that you are that way?
Now they do. I think now they do. It's taken years to ascend and rise to my own personal expectations, and we're still not as efficient as we could be. But we're pretty good at finishing things, and when we finish our productions, and for anybody that's listening and it's like, what are they talking about? We're talking about film production as a business, and television production as a business, and digital content creation as a business. So that's the manipulation of cameras and audio and sound and moving visuals to create some sort of story and or recounting of something. Okay, so I've done events, I've done narratives where it's just pure fiction, I've done animation and such, and the all thing that makes it all one is to make it right. If you don't make it right and you don't approach every little detail and aspect right, something's going to come out wrong, and it's going to show up on the screen. Even if you're not aware of it. See, the planning that goes into a production, every single one of them can take more time than most people are willing to put in.
You see all the ladies, all the ladies are shaking their heads.
I've been on set with you. It's true. Like, I'm like, take
Listen,
20. Like,
every film, every short film, and every short film that we've ever made, the shortest one we've made was, I think, about 8 minutes. The longest one originally started out to be like 34
It was
minutes,
about to say it was
and we cut it
34,
down
yeah.
to like 19 or 21 minutes. And then somewhere in between are other
the
films.
other ones, yeah.
But every single one of those short films has a book with it, a production book.
Right.
That's hundreds of pages.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. And it took us months of pre-planning to even get to that. We just finished filming Jamal Hodge. Jamal Hodge Morning Meal in Plainfield. We started in November. Yeah. Please give some.
So, I mean, just for
Jamal
people who
Hodge.
don't know, Jamal Hodge, I was just going to speak about the ID channel. So everybody knows I talk about the ID channel all the time because I like watching the ID channel. It makes me a little paranoid, but I love it, right? So he is actually a writer for, what's the...
He was the director of Primal Impact.
Primal Instinct.
Yes.
Primal Instinct,
Right.
which is actually a really, really good show on investigation discovery.
Yeah, it's one of
but
those,
we just worked with him.
recounting shows.
Yeah, I love it.
And they actually shot a lot in New Jersey, in Union County, in fact.
Yes.
And Jamal is one of those people that when I refer to the Queen City Film Festival in particular, because he was one of our founding members.
Yes.
Jamal was attracted to Plainfield by what we did as a production company.
Right.
And he had noticed our work on the circuit. We met in Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
At Martha's Vineyard African American Film Fest,
Yes.
for those who are listening.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most prestigious African American film fests in the country.
Yeah.
And I met Jamal there, and we built a relationship, and he was like, you know what, let me come out and check out Plainfield for this location, that location. And that was years ago, and we've already done 2 projects here in town. He's sending more filmmakers here, and that's what ultimately the Queen City Film Festival represents.
Yeah.
An opportunity for us to attract more people of like mind, communal mind, who have vision, who want to put out some positivity and impact into the community through art and through creation.
Right.
But also with a finance swing to it, a level of ownership. Because, listen, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I wouldn't have told you half of the things that I know now about putting a film festival together.
Right.
3 months ago, I was afraid of the nonprofit world, and it was always intimidating.
3 months ago, we didn't know what we didn't
3
know.
months ago, we didn't know what we didn't know.
Right.
But when you take the leap of faith and you go after the information and you explore it, you'll find it. So in this particular case, the film festival is bringing people together to create that dialogue in the city of Plainfield and to represent all of our stories from so many different perspectives. You know, it's just unbelievable that this is happening.
And
right
I want to use that as a segue because you're talking about the stories from the different perspectives. So I want to go back over to LaQuinn.
Yep.
So I want to talk about your story. And you did you produce and write and direct your story that's in the film festival?
No, so our film is a little unique in that I produced it. It's called Empty.
Okay.
I produced it, and our film was made as part of a challenge, Women Weekend Film Challenge.
Oh, wow.
And we basically had about 3.5 days to write, shoot, and edit a short film.
Wow.
All the equipment was donated to us. All the equipment was donated to us. Production insurance donated to us. All we had to do was find locations and just figure out how to feed ourselves. They put our crew together already, so you applied, and they just put everyone together and gave you your team. So I just got like I just got a spreadsheet with like a bunch of strangers, and it was like, you're the producer, this is your team.
Make it work.
Make it work. And we didn't find out what our genre was until like Thursday night, and so you had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to get it done. And then we came out with Empty, which is doing really well on the film festival circuit. So I'm a little shocked.
Can you give us a premise without telling the story?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I'm always bad at this, which is like weird, but because I should be good at this. Pitching.
Well, let me grab it.
It's basically, it deals with a lot with mental health, but it's basically like a snapshot of someone going through a pretty bad moment. in relation to her trying to find her daughter. And so we kind of go through that journey with her, and at the end, you know, we find out some things. And people are usually pretty shocked at the end, like, oh, like, wow, I didn't even realize that that's what was happening.
Wow.
But a lot of it was we really wanted to break away from the cliche, like even our location, the location we chose, we shot in a school. My mom's a principal, so when you were like, I was like, oh, cool. Even the location we chose, we were like, we don't want to do like typical apartment, or we don't, you know what I mean? Like, and now we want our story to kind of touch on just something unconventional. And so like our 2 lead characters are partners, like all those kinds of things, but we really wanted to make everything an afterthought, right? We really wanted people to connect with the story. And then at the end, go back and be like, oh, wow, like, and like the 2 leads are women of color and they're together, and oh, this is a mental health story and we didn't even realize. And so that's been pretty cool, just seeing everyone's reaction to it.
Nice. Kendra, I wanted to ask you, as an actress, and you know, and you're in LA, and as an African American actress, is there a role that you won't take?
So I just was asked this in the airport. Seriously, a prostitute without a storyline. I remember I was sitting at lunch with an actor, and we were having this discussion, and he was like, you wouldn't do that? I mean, if you want to make money, this is what you need to do. And I'm like, because like he was talking about how he had played different types of roles through his thing, but he also had like 10 kids. So like, I get where you're coming from, but I don't have 10 kids, and that's not what I would choose to. I'm serious. That's not what I would choose to portray, unless she has something that's going on that hasn't been told, or we're seeing who she is, and her job happens to be a prostitute. But most of the things that I've seen when they are prostitutes, they're just prostitutes. So that's probably,
they're not giving a backstory.
Exactly. That's probably the only thing. And I was like, the verdict is still out on a slave.
That was my question to you.
The verdict is still out on a slave, and I really don't know.
Because I just hate that sometimes we get typecast or pigeonholed into these certain roles, that this is what we do and this is what we play, and we are in the same story and we're in the same type of film all the time. So I love the fact that you talk about mental health, because a lot of times we don't address those issues inside of our community. So it's very important that we actually shine the light on that. So I'm very excited to see. We'll talk about hers.
I wanted to get to hers.
I'm with you. Like, there's certain things that you just are like, no, it's not my preference. It's not, it's not what I'll do.
That's not what I choose to show.
Okay.
And just for you guys, like in LA, as far as like my group of friends and creating mental health is like the biggest thing ever. Like going to therapy. I went to a birthday of a friend, and we're like, everybody went around the table and we were talking about how we knew her and whatever. Basically, she helped everybody at that table get into therapy or think about therapy or something like that. And I have another friend, he created a web series about mental health, mental illness. It's just like a theme that's going around people who are creating right now, because especially in the Black community, because they know that like it's something that we normally shy away from.
Topic. Like it's a topic we don't discuss. So I'm curious to see, and I'm grateful that you actually took that avenue, because we definitely need to shine a light, and not only just for African Americans in general, but just for women as well, because we feel like we're so strong and we don't need to do this, and we got to be there for everyone and take care of everyone else, and we are literally dying from mental health issues. So
well, that's what I wanted to get into, DeAndrea, because you also mentioned your film targeted mental health as well.
One of my films.
One of your films.
Yeah. So, so that's really about us telling, it's myself and 3 other people. We're telling our personal stories, just relating to when we first knew something was wrong, with what was going on with us, to stigma in the Black community. I know I had a mother who was on there, and she was like, yeah, I grew up, I never saw my grandmother or my mom cry. So I grew up thinking I couldn't cry, or I had to be strong, or I had to hold on. You know, so you get so many different perspectives from that film. Still talking sort of about the same topics, just from our own perspective.
Right.
Yeah, and then the film Strength, Faith, Courage, Conquering Lupus, that's in the film festival, that you even see a little bit of that in there. We don't really truly go fully into mental health and mental illness, because I wanted to focus on lupus. But she does say there's times I just break down and I just have to pray, because there's times it gets so hard just to live with a debilitating illness like lupus. So and that's what I like to do with my work as well. Like even on social media, on and off social media, I'm a mental health advocate. I go to therapy. I have I've been diagnosed with a mental illness, so it's definitely something that I put out there for anyone, no matter what you're trying to do, especially if you're Black though, and especially if you're creating and trying to find your own way. You need support.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to ask you guys, so what are some topics that you want to delve into that you haven't gotten a chance to as of yet? And we'll just go around.
Oh, I want to talk about everything. So I really do, because there's just so many things on my mind. But I am currently in pre-production for Women's History Month for March, and that is going to be centered on the upliftment and adoration of Black women. So I'm very excited about that.
All right, so you're coming back to the show.
So when is our interview? Actually,
so you're coming back, is what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
no, let me know. I'll definitely come back.
Okay. Did you see that? Do you see that we have Women's Empowerment Conference?
Yeah, no.
Yes. So you're coming back, is what you're saying?
Yeah, let me know.
Oh, good. Okay. All right.
My mom told me not to invite myself places, so you gotta be able to do it.
You are definitely invited back. So
Okay,
yes,
cool.
Women's History. That is awesome.
Thank you.
LaQuinn?
Similar. I just want to talk about a lot, but I think one thing that has weighed really heavy on my heart, which is I get too deep sometimes, so I'm just about to get really deep. I really want to find a way to showcase like a white woman's role in Black oppression. Like I'm not about to get deep. Yes.
We was all like,
right, whoa.
Oh, LaQuinn.
You did, you dove. Like
I told you I was like, I get deep. I'm about to get deep.
Listen, and on that note, everybody, thank you for watching.
Wow.
And just focus on like accountability on their part. And,
man, I can't wait.
I'm not gonna get deep into it because
I watched the first half of Chelsea Handler's
White Privilege.
White Privilege
Right.
on Netflix. I ended up having to do something else at home, but I ended up seeing the first 20 minutes of it, and it was heavy.
I need to go watch that.
It was heavy.
I need to go watch that.
It was heavy.
Yeah,
it
you
was
gotta
heavy,
watch it.
but that's good. I like that. That is really, really good. Miss Hill.
Stories I want to tell. The first one is a Black tap dancer. I have
Look at
the story
you.
of a Black female tap dancer.
Gotta get you in contact with Savion.
Because you usually only see men.
Males.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
You only see
especially Black men.
Right.
When they're tapping, that's what you see. So I wanted to focus
Wow.
on a female Black tap dancer. And then I just want to talk about, real quick, a comedy that me and another friend, Larry Brown, he's actually from Plainfield also.
Nice.
We're working on a web series. As I guess it's kind of like a robbery, set it off type comedy type of situation.
Okay.
But we just wanted to tell that story, just stemmed from a comedy video we made, and I don't know if I'm giving enough information, but it stemmed from a comedy video that we made where we were robbing a bank, and then it turned into like, oh, this could be a short film. I mean, this could be a web series, and so he basically created this whole world, and hopefully by next year we will be in the 3rd annual Queen City Film Festival.
All right. Okay. Okay. Mr. Maxon.
Well, this is good.
A topic.
This is a good one.
Category.
you know that all of our films, and I was sitting here trying to process.
Yeah, because
that,
all of them are
and
from
everybody
different.
had such good answers. So I had to think about what we've done. I already have a science fiction, sci-fi, Black experience, sci-fi under our belt. That's really what broke us through all of this. And then we started focusing on stories of the Black experience in America, the external forces that have hurt us, and the internal forces, like the stuff we do to ourselves, a la moves we make, which is another film that we made here in Plainfield. So the external forces like Heroin, which we made last year.
Wonderful film.
And moves we make, and White Picket Fence, which addresses mental health illness.
It does.
And Shh, which is a real look at Black relationships.
Yes, it is.
Yes. And everybody knows Shh
is a great one.
It's pretty hot right now.
Because the ending is awesome.
The ending is all that. Shout out to Okima T. Moore. Okima T. Moore, Patrick Coker, Afro Lumbian, all those filmmakers. But now I think the story that I want to tell now that we've covered that base is the African experience through the Middle Passage, post the Middle Passage, because there's so many things that occurred there that have hurt our psyche to this day, that we can't put our finger on. And the rest of society may or may not know exactly what it is. They sort of acknowledge it, put it back in their mind, and then when they see us, they kind of act like we have no business being in the room.
Right.
You know, but the truth of the matter is that those boat rides and things that
boat rides,
that transportation line that took place from here to there, still has an effect on us. It still has a great impact on us today. Right. And it pains me to be aware of that and to see it firsthand all the time from people that look like me and know that there's something that can be done about it.
Right.
And so all we have to do is keep this collective going, keep this conversation going, and keep putting forth the positive images through events like the Queen City Film Festival, through projects and productions that Deandra's working on and LaQuinn's working on. And all of us here are doing things that make a difference in our small circles, and then eventually we bubble out and affect those others.
Right.
So those are the kind of stories that I want to tell.
Right.
Yep.
I want to ask my ladies up here too, because I want to get you guys in on this, because I know Queen B has actually spoken to our Patrick Coker a time or two about writing a short film.
Yes.
So I want to know. I don't want to know exactly what you want to write. The Patrick Coker. Topics, categories. What would you write about?
Well, I will give a little bit away that I've been writing and working on is suicide in the Black community, but female suicide. That is one of the first pieces that I am writing right now, and I really, really would love to the third annual film fest. I would love to.
You're a room full of filmmakers. Come on, make it happen.
Submit and get that together, because I think it's important. There's a lot of things that happen to us as children, and I'm not just talking about the normal stories. Yes, we know about molestation. We know about we know about abuse, and we know about certain things, but there's things that we don't delve into, that we don't talk about. You know what I mean?
Right.
We know, being poor and not having enough money. We know the normal stories, but there are some things that we go through that, people don't talk about at all. So that's one of the things I definitely want to write about first.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, she's kind of quiet today, but
taking it all in.
Yeah, she's taking it all in. Wait, your camera's all high and you're all low. But
your cameraman.
Yeah, look, but
y'all need to fix that. Thank you.
Look, there we go.
Got my forehead all exposed.
But for Sassy, I'm gonna just give a little bit of your resume. So before you were here at this esteemed radio show, And before you were vice principal of Malcolm X Shabazz and then Barringer. And before she was a WNBA player as well. Sassy did a brief stint with Mr. Spike Lee himself in film and in production. So she definitely knows that side of things as well. So in doing all of that work with Mr. Lee, I want to know, if you had to do your own work, what story would you tell?
It would be The Urban Educator.
Right.
I love the collective response.
Because these are things that we don't see. Yeah.
Because you're not in the trenches, right? So where does your mom in the urban district?
In Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah, elementary school in Brooklyn. And
So
she can tell you some stories.
Okay. That's all I gotta say. Like, I come in and I share some things with them.
Yeah.
But until you've actually walked down that street, you have absolutely no idea.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we get up and we do it over and over and over again.
And you deal with things that
you just wouldn't believe.
You
I'm
wouldn't believe.
telling you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it runs the gamut from A to Z.
That's why we got to reach out to, in particularly, the young people. The front lines of this battle really exist amongst our young people. The people that are 18 and under, they're the ones that we need to focus on, because we're losing that. We're not paying attention to the fact that they're being grasped early.
Yes.
And if we're not paying attention to them at a very early age, they're absorbing all this trash. And then by the time we realize it, it's too late.
Yes.
It's too late. It's already, they've
To
been
reverse
undated. They're submersed in it. So when we talk about all these stories that we want to see happen, the second annual Queen City Film Fest is designed as a space to develop those stories, to get those stories out to audiences, to people like us, who like minds, who want to see our own impact on screen, right? So every single one of the filmmakers that's involved has taken the time to do that. They've taken the time to tell a story from their perspective and get these teams, these collaborative units together with people with different functions doing different things to come together to do it. And the Queen City Film Festival is here for that. People are coming from all over the country just to visit Plainfield on Friday and Saturday to not only watch movies, because someone said to me, well, what's the Queen City Film Festival? What are you guys, like, binge watching? No, it's not just binge watching. There's some binge watching going on, but there's also some real high-level networking and conversations going on about the condition of ourselves, our mental condition, our physical condition, our condition between gender.
Right.
You know, our ideas about gender and race are all taking place at the Queen City Film Festival. So if you're doing anything of value this weekend, do it. But also consider coming through the Queen City Film Festival. And if you can't, recommend a young person to come through. Because over the course of 2 days, we have 2, not 1, Emmy Award winners coming into town to talk to young people and to talk to seniors. On day 1, there's a documentary block that Deandra's a part of with other fabulous filmmakers, as well as an Emmy-nominated director that's coming into town to show films with you. So 1 year ago, where you know, and a year later, you took the leap. You said, I'm going to tell this story, and now your film is being shown right next to an Emmy-nominated filmmaker. And that is what it's all about.
Absolutely. Right.
Making that connection for Deandra, because when I first met her, she didn't even think she could do this. And just from not even that much coaching, every now and again I'd get a call from her about, what do you think about this? And I'd give her a long rundown. And then I wouldn't talk to her for months. And then she'd come out with these beautiful projects. and she'd start sharing them, and I'd get a tag here and there. And what I realized from just working on the film festival and other film projects is that there are people watching us. There are people that are younger than me. Again, shout out to 50. I just turned 50 last week.
Right.
And I'm just
Happy
realizing
birthday.
my impact on the community and young people like Deandra and other people that I've worked with along the way. Our mission as the film festival is to reach young people through our Future Filmmakers program, which shout out to Plainfield Public Schools for sponsoring the Future Filmmakers Club, because what we're going to try to do is recruit as many young people as possible, 20 at a time, to learn the career. Learn the career path.
But that's what we got to do.
Of becoming a professional filmmaker.
Right.
So that when you say to someone, I want to be a filmmaker when I grow up, they don't look at you and go, why, you're crazy. You should be an engineer, a doctor, or a lawyer. No, I want to be a producer. Because the truth of the matter is, I was 8 years old. 42 years ago, my mother will tell you right now, what do you want to be when you grow up? I think I want to be a producer. Here I am now, on the mic, running my mouth, telling you that dreams do come true when you apply yourself. I'm a producer. And I really became conscious of it maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. But I had been doing it for probably 10 or 15 years prior to that. We were on a film together. When it dawned on me, and this was like my 4th or 5th short film at that point, that I'm a producer. And I was led to it by other people and shown the career path. And I was blessed and lucky enough to do that. So by producing the Queen City Film Festival, bringing it here on October 25th and 26th, for the second time, we're creating another opportunity for more people to join the conversation and the mission that we have here, which one is to eliminate senseless violence amongst our young people, to eliminate this sense of directionless and lack of concern and care that young people have. And if we can touch them by connecting them to something that they care about, and also showing them along the way, listen, you don't have to be a rapper, you don't have to be a model, you can be behind the scenes, learn a skill, which is, it's a trade.
Yeah, it is a trade.
Yes, and you can be something, you can make a living out of this, you can do whatever you want, you can be an owner. Because I started out on the bottom as a PA, standing outside in the rain, in the cold, taking crap from people, but then realizing, you know, if I just keep doing this and learning the business from the inside out, taking my ego out of it.
Right.
I don't need the corner office. I can just be on set. If I'm on set, if I'm close to the action, I can learn. And so that was my rise to being an executive producer of multiple films and now a film festival. And we've started a nonprofit agency to house this and to make sure that we can give back to all of the young people, not just in Plainfield, but nationally and internationally. Hopefully, I'd like to grow to see our movement take place.
All right. Well, listen, for everybody, because on that note, I have nothing else to say. So on that note, I have nothing else to say, and we actually have come to the end of our show. Actually, a little while ago. So I'm still allowing things to go. Nope, it's perfectly fine. So for everybody, like Lamar said, whatever it is that you guys are doing this weekend of value, that's great, that's awesome. Go out and do it. But we're going to be there. We're going to be there from 8:30 a.m. on Friday until after the after party, until 2 a.m. on Friday into Saturday morning, and then starting again Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and going again till 2 a.m. into Sunday morning. So at some point in time, you can get yourself to Plainfield between 8 a.m. Friday morning and 2 a.m. into Sunday morning, you can get yourself to Plainfield to be a part of any of our events. We have a number of different blocks that are going to be going on, talking about a number of different categories, a number of different topics. Locations. We have a number of different panels that are going to be going on as well. Day one is at the Plainfield Cultural Arts and Education Center, which is 724 Park Avenue, right here in Plainfield. Day two is at the Cinemark Theater on Route 22. You guys know any movie theater that's on Route 22, we claim as Plainfield anyway, so it is ours. So everybody, please make sure you guys can come out to either one of those locations. Go to Eventbrite, look up Queen City Film Fest NJ. Go to Eventbrite, that is Queen City Film Fest NJ, and you guys can purchase a ticket. You can purchase tickets for Friday, you can purchase tickets for Saturday, and you can save money and purchase tickets for both, and you can be there the entire time.
Or donate tickets. If you know that you can't attend, please
purchase the tickets anyway and give it to somebody else.
Give it to somebody else.
Absolutely,
give it to
because
somebody
all
else.
the proceeds go to the Queen City Film and Television Workshop, which is the nonprofit that's going to produce the Future Filmmakers Club of Plainfield. So
and if you can't attend, just donate. Donations would be
we're
gladly appreciated.
www.qcffnj.com.
Say it again.
qcffnj.com.
Make sure you guys go on there and check it out, and we would love to see you this weekend at some point in time between Friday and Saturday. We would love to have you out. We're going to be there.
We're going to be there.
I'm going to be there all day, the entire time.
Starting tonight.
Everybody. Yeah. And Queen B is going to be there as well. Lamar is going to be there as well. Shout out to my loving teammates who put up with me and deal with me and have for the last
Kenny
5
C.
years. So Kenny C. Williams right there.
Look at Allison.
And most of all, Allison McWilliams.
Her whole life.
Who puts up with
Allie's in the building?
Who puts up with me as well. She's in the building.
Yeah.
And Patrick Coker,
The
who
Nonstop
also
Show Group fam right here.
Yes, who actually puts up with me as well. I love
shout
Patrick.
out to Norm, Trish, BKS1, the entire BKS1 Nation.
Yes.
We've been just thick as thieves for as long as I can remember now, and it's just a blessing to be sitting here in this studio, because I remember when Norm was in other locations and other spaces and other places doing other things
before the studio.
But the BKS1 studio is where it's at. I love this spot.
All right. So everybody, please make sure you come out this weekend. Really quick, I just have to add, there was another individual that I talked to about transitioning to entertainment. That was Katara. Shout out to Katara, who actually put in the chat that I forgot her. But so my apologies.
She was in PR too.
She was in public relations.
PR,
so shout out to Katara. I did not forget you, even though I'm not your favorite. But we're going to come back to that. But yes, to everybody who watched this evening, to everybody who listened to this evening, no matter what outlet you did it again and every week, we love you guys for watching. We love you guys for listening. We will be here same time, same place, new content every week. We have more stuff coming up for you. The holidays are coming. So we have a lot of things coming up before the end of the year. And we will get all of that to you guys very, very soon. But thank you for watching tonight. Thank you for listening tonight. And hopefully we will see you guys this weekend at the Queen City Film Fest.
You guys are always
come out Friday.
Second
come
annual.
out Saturday.
Second
how
annual.
they can be involved.
Love it.
Exactly. So let's go.
How do I get wherever or be? What you got going on?
This
Listen,
weekend.
this weekend,
come on out.
This is where we'll be.
Come on out. Walk the red carpet. We have a nice
Yes.
red carpet for you.
Yes, we
Come
do.
and walk on that red
Yes,
carpet.
we do.
We spent money on that red carpet.
Yes, we
You
did.
make sure you get out there and walk on
Yes,
the
we
red
did.
carpet, everybody.
Come on out.
So that's a side joke. But anyway, so again, Sassy, can you take us away, madam?
All right,
okay.
That's P-Funk right there, isn't it?
Sassy. Okay, Sassy. Bye, everybody.